Hello everybody and welcome back to Movies with Mia. If you're new to the channel, hi. I'm Mia Tiffany and here we're watching the greatest classic films throughout history. Today we are starting a new series on the channel. We are going to be looking at some of the films that I have been wanting to watch for a very long time now, and we are going to be starting with the film The Heiress. Now, before we get into today's video, I would like to shout out my Golden Oscar patrons. Guys, thank you so much for your continued support of the channel. And if you're interested in exclusive MWM content, then please check out that Patreon link, which is in the description box below. And as always, a special thanks to our editor, Zach. He's been so helpful in getting these videos out to all of you. Please check out his channel, Zank Films. Thank you so much, Zach. The Heiress was released in 1949, directed by William Wyler, starring Olivia de Havilland, Montgomery Clift, and Ralph Richardson, with other notable performances by Miriam Hopkins, Mona Freeman, Vanessa Brown, and Selena Royal. All right, everyone, at this point, we're going to get into the historical background. For those of you who want to jump right onto the film reaction, go for it. But for those of you who want to stay, we're going to get right into it. The Heiress was originally a novel titled Washington Square, written by American novelist Henry James in 1880. The novel would eventually become an American classic, then would later be adapted into a Broadway play by the famed husband and wife writing duo, Ruth and Augustus Goetz. The play had several successful shows, both in the United States and in the United Kingdom. During this time, Olivia de Havilland caught a show of The Heiress on Broadway, and she decided that this was the next potential picture that she wanted to star in. She approached William Wyler with the idea because she believed that he had the ability to pull great performances out of his actors. Wyler had been working with Paramount at the time and was growing increasingly frustrated with the fact that a lot of his ideas were being vetoed by the studio. Now, when he heard about this project, The Heiress, he was flabbergasted that nobody had picked up the film rights for the Goetz' Broadway production and approached them with an offer that he would make a faithful adaptation to their story. Now, the Goetz would eventually sell the rights to their play for $250,000 and a guaranteed $10,000 to work on its screenplay. Wyler would eventually cast Montgomery Clift for the film, and upon meeting Montgomery Clift, the Goetzes were not really keen on him. They didn't feel like he was polished enough for the period piece that the story was asking for. But nonetheless, Clift was set to be the leading man of the film. While on set, there was a bit of creative differences between the cast members, as de Havilland and Clift had very different styles of acting. Clift felt that de Havilland's style of acting was too refined, where she would go, rehearse her lines, then come to set and constantly ask Wyler for direction. He believed that this was not true acting. De Havilland, on the other hand, was appreciative of what Clift brought to his character, but felt that he was more concerned with his own performance rather than bouncing off each other scene by scene. And both leading stars felt that Ralph Richardson was essentially trying to steal the limelight because he would constantly make his small little tasks on screen seem more big and more, just to show off, to show that he was there on screen. Now, The Heiress was completed in early 1949, but the studio decided to hold it for a fall release because at the time, fall releases or movies released in fall were the sort of big ticket movies, the ones reserved for more viewership. Though the film was met with high praise in the New York film scene, it took a little bit longer to reach that popularity in the rest of the US. However, despite this, de Havilland would find success with her second Oscar win for Best Actress in 1950. The film itself would be nominated for 8 Oscars, including Best Picture, but it would only win 4. Over the years, The Heiress would earn a reputation of being a great American film masterpiece. Several years after its release in the 90s, talks were happening between director Mike Nicholas and actor Tom Cruise of remaking the film. However, they later realized that the film was actually perfect the way it was and that nothing needed to be improved upon. Thank God, because we know sometimes remakes are just not the answer. So they decided to leave the film alone. With that being said, this is my first time watching The Heiress, and I am so excited to finally watch it. But before we do, guys, y'all know the deal. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification to stay in the loop. All right, everyone, it is time to grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and let's get into the Heiress. And it's a William Wyler. I think the last William Wyler we watched was The Best Years of Our Lives. Love these exterior shots here.
Miss Cat, it's your new dress. Will you take it out of the box, Mariah, and hang it out? Yes, miss.
And there's Olivia de Havilland. She just recently died in 2020. She lived to be 100. Fantastic.
Good morning, Lavinia.
Good morning, Austin.
Catherine's starting another of these things. I hope she doesn't let it become a life's work. Lavinia, would you care to spend the winter here?
She's like, I would love to.
Perhaps you could persuade Catherine to join in freely with the young people. Enjoy herself.
I sure hope so. I love the name Lavinia. Wow, so of a different time, but I love it.
I bought a fine fish for the chowder you like.
Next time, let the man carry it in for you. Why don't you invite your Aunt Lavinia or friend to take luncheon with you?
I can't, Father. I have some embroidery I'd like to attend to.
Right off the bat, I can tell she's kind of to herself, not really wanting to go and, be social, which I can totally relate to. Come on. Who wants to go to a party when you can, embroider, right?
Don't go off by yourself tonight, will you? Stay with all of us and enjoy the party. You see, your father would like me to be composed and to join in the conversation. So I would do anything to please him when I am in company. It seems that no one could want to listen to me.
I'm really used to watching a lot of Victorian era period pieces from the United Kingdom. It's interesting to see that time period in an American sense and kind of what was going on in society then.
Do you like my dress?
This magnificent person is my daughter.
It's cherry red.
So it is.
I believe my mother used to wear it.
But Catherine, your mother was fair. She dominated the color.
Your mother dominated the cherry red. That's something you tell a woman right before she's about to go into society. It's a fun little shindig.
Your Aunt Penman has made a conquest.
Yes. Well, having a nice time, Catherine? Delightful, Aunt Elizabeth. Oh, Quintus, you remember Catherine Sloper, my niece?
Maybe you can dance with Catherine. Look. They just want her to join in and sort of be part of the in crowd, essentially.
She has the prospect of $30,000 a year. I don't mean it's her only merit. You always have a way of alluding to her as an unmarriageable girl.
So maybe he has no hope that she'll, marry someone?
She sat with me. Evenings are in. I've tried to make conversation with her and give her some social adeptness. The result is what you see.
Austin, no child could compete with this image you have of a mother.
Wow, so he really misses the mother and is almost putting that expectation on her. That's a hard expectation to live up to.
What are you doing here? I'm waiting for Quintus Seabury. He's bringing me some claret cup. Make him look for you.
She's make him chase you a little bit, I cannot tell you how much I relate to her character. I'm totally out of place.
Dancing was the one thing we disagreed about, the Reverend and I. Do you suppose he's watching over me tonight? That depends on where he is, Aunt.
I cannot believe you just said that. Depends on where he is.
Would you have a dance for me, Miss Sloper?
I believe she has a waltz left.
Miss Sloper, we must make an arrangement. I will not kick you if you will not kick me. 1, 2, 3. Point. 1, 2.
Oh, he's kind of making her feel comfortable. That's really sweet. It's already hard enough to be at a party that you don't really feel like you fit in at, But then to find someone who's sort of matching your energy, I like it. Even the way that they dance just feels off, just slightly out of place.
Now, Miss Sloper, I think it's time you said something.
Are you going to remain in New York now, Mr. Townsend?
What a delightful question. Yes, Miss Sloper, I am going to remain in New York.
He's I'm staying in New York now. My God, please stop.
Your old auntie is exhausted. Mr. Beale is an accomplished dancer.
It would be a pleasure, Miss Sloper.
Oh no, I hope he doesn't get the wrong idea that she's dancing with someone else. I mean, it is just a dance, but back then it wasn't just a dance, It was a whole courtship thing. He's oh, dancing with someone else, I see.
Oh, Austin, may I present Mr. Morris Townsend?
I'll be ready very soon. Will you tell Catherine? I, alas, must be an early riser.
I just met your father. He left before I could ask him when I might call.
Are you not well, Mr. Townsend?
I wish to call on you.
A gentleman caller, oh my God. This is giving me Bridgerton vibes, minus the spicy stuff.
You have a visitor, young lady.
But I was afraid you might not come back at all.
I would have to come back. I live here.
That is why I'm here.
Bro, it's that smile that would just have me melting.
I brought that song I told you I found in Paris. Pardon me, Ma'am, I'll get it.
Way too charming. Oh my God. I'm in love.
Oh, Catherine, you haven't forgotten about this evening. Our girl is off to another one of her endless parties.
It makes me very unhappy to hear that.
I am not going to a party. My father and I are dining with Mr. and Mrs. Hone, that's all.
You're so honest.
Oh my God, stop. Stop telling me things that you like about me.
Yes, I'd like to see you, Mr. Townsend, but you have called so frequently this week.
You're tired of me.
Oh, no. I am puzzled.
If you're puzzled, you're thinking of me.
Look, let me tell you something. It's the look when he looks and then smiles. I would be done. I'd be like, you can marry me. Here you go. Just, I'm ready. Have me weak in the knees.
Take pity on my situation.
What situation?
I've fallen in love with you.
Bro, confession of love? I've fallen in love with you. Stop. Stop it. Don't.
Is your cousin here with you?
No, I'm on my own. I hope you don't mind.
Delighted.
I've taken the liberty of calling on the most attractive young lady and her attractive father.
Oh,
Oh, he's like, oh, thank you. It's quite nice of you. I kind of like, though, that the dad, it seems like he has like a keen, an awareness. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting.
I stopped by to see Mr. Ruggieri after breakfast.
oh yes, about the lessons. What did he say?
You need a very true ear for the heart, but I have not a very true ear.
Your mother's ear was impeccable.
That's my mother. That's not me.
Mrs. Sloper has a great appreciation for music. That is a talent in itself.
She is hooked. She's hooked on him. I see it.
Will you dine with us one evening this week?
Doctor, I should be delighted.
She's like, yes, everything is falling into place.
I'm looking for a position.
What sort of position should you prefer?
I have nothing but my good right arm.
Oh, you're too modest. I know nothing of you but what I see, but I see that you're extremely intelligent.
Were you kindly intending to propose something?
But I hear the West is opening up.
I'm afraid I shouldn't be able to manage that. You see, I have ties here.
Mr. Townsend has 5 little nephews and nieces. He is helping to bring them up.
Although she's like hyping him up. He's like, yes, yes, very good.
He doesn't like me.
I don't see how you know.
You may find it hard to maintain so much elegance in this city without working for it.
But he's looking for a position most earnestly.
Wouldn't the position of a husband to a defenseless young girl with a large fortune suit him to perfection?
Oh, daddy's like, I see through it. Oh my God. Oh my God, get away from my face. I'm not gonna lie though, he would have gotten me too. It's the attention.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
Also, I'm assuming she probably has never had any sort of male attention other than her father. And even that's sort of like, he kind of constantly pins her against her mother.
We must speak to my father.
You'll need all your powers of persuasion. Naturally, your father wants a brilliant marriage for you, Catherine. And I'm a poor man.
But at the same time, here's a red flag for you. Profess your love for her after 3 days. It's a little fishy. Something's a little fishy.
Oh, Father,
Have you waited up for me?
I have something to tell you. I am engaged to be married.
Engaged? Look at his face.
And whom have you honored with your choice?
Mr. Morris Townsend.
Mr. Townsend ought to have waited and told me. He should plead for you.
Thank you. Tradition. Respect. But he wanted to get you first so he kind of like soften daddy up a little bit.
He fears that you do not like him.
But our liking each other isn't important. The only thing that is important is that he love you.
Don't you think he is the most beautiful man you've ever seen? That is what is so wonderful to me, that he should have everything a woman could want, and he wants me.
And he wants me. That's the frickin' mentality right there. She is, from experience, she's being naive.
And you are so good that you will be fair and honest with him.
I shall be as fair and honest with him as he is with you.
Dude, I'm sorry, but Ralph Richardson really is stealing the show here a little bit. In the subtleties of his acting, it gives him a little bit of like, I don't know, something different.
Your brother wishes to marry my daughter. Tell me something about his character.
He's a wonderful companion.
But is he reliable? Is he trustworthy? Is he...
Financially secure. He is not, Doctor.
He told me that he'd used up a small inheritance. Did he handle it well?
He saw Europe. He met many interesting people. I have accepted the good and bad in him just as I accept them in my children.
So he squandered his inheritance on, like, traveling.
Catherine, this is Mrs. Montgomery, Mr. Townsend's sister.
My brother tells me that you have an aunt visiting you, Miss Sloper. It is delightful to have someone to whom one can show New York.
I love how he's just looking at
Yes,
her like
it is.
she's not really much of a conversationalist. I want to say I love the way that Olivia is playing the coy, naive heiress. She's doing a great job, man. It's really working for the character.
She is very shy.
Now, you said they've just fallen in love, but I believe her money is the prime attraction. She has 10,000 a year from her mother.
10,000?
And on my death, she will have twice as much more. She's an heiress. Didn't your brother tell you that?
No, he did not.
Oh my, she's rolling in it. I think I do trust the sister. I don't know if I trust him though now. Morris Townsend.
Austin Catherine is radiant.
Well, she must get over it. He's worthless. All he's interested in is her money.
Are you going to tell that to Catherine?
No.
That's a mistake. Marriage was different back then, right? Like you can't just be like, okay, I'm just gonna get a divorce. It would probably have been incredibly difficult to kind of navigate that, playing field.
Catherine told me yesterday what has been going on between you.
I had an idea you didn't like me.
What gave you that idea?
The fact that I'm poor. And therefore, you mean I'm mercenary.
There are many poor men, but they don't go through the streets proclaiming that they are not thieves, especially when no one has accused them.
Oh my God, that's crazy. He's like already sort of outing himself by being like, I'm not a thief. Why are you saying I'm a thief? And he's like, I never said you were out to steal anything. So he's kind of like outing himself already. Wait a second.
Doctor, did you enjoy the idea of making her miserable?
She may as well be miserable that way as with you. It is over.
I wouldn't be too sure of that, sir.
He's gonna marry her anyway. Because remember, he said, like, even if your father disapproves, basically marry me anyway. Like, still choose me.
Morris, wait! Morris, you promised me, Morris, you would be respectful when you saw my father.
Catherine.
Your father does not approve of me, Catherine.
Oh, that is really speaking. He's maybe not so respectful after all.
He's a selfish idler.
I know he loves me.
I know that he does not.
This framing is so stellar.
He cannot marry without your approval. It would bring unhappiness to all of us.
Then will you put it off, Mr. Townsend? I would like Catherine to go to Europe with me.
Your father thinks you will forget me, Catherine. Go to Europe. Go to Europe with your father.
Dang, he's really being like speaking out of turn here. He's like, watch, I still have a hold on her no matter what.
Did you used to come here with my mother?
Yes, Catherine, I did.
There's the Cafe Riche. Aunt Penniman mentioned it in her last letter. She said that all the best people of Paris frequented.
Because she's talking to Townsend.
I see no reason to prolong this trip.
That rift between them of, but you're not the image of your mother. Why aren't you like your mother? I feel like that kind of tainted their relationship a little bit, and why she's so willing to run to another man instead of listening to, her father.
Pilot's gone down the bay. They're at the dock within the hour.
Maybe I was just raised different, but there's something about being in another man's house when he's not at home. Never.
Now tell her everything. Tell her I love her.
I will.
The fact that William Wyler chose Montgomery Clift to play this lead was actually a brilliant choice, because he doesn't really fit into the mold of the period piece, but that also makes you suspect that something is off.
Have you taken to drink, Lavinia?
I thought it would help my heart.
Why is she lying to him, bro?
Well, what's happened to Mr. Townsend? Is he upstairs in my bed? How many girls do you think he might have had in this town? 100 women are prettier, 1,000 more clever, but you have one virtue that outshines them all. Your money.
But I mean, it is true, though. Like, she doesn't have anything really going for her. Like, that is the truth. It'd be one thing if the father was lying, but he's not.
Morris.
She's in love with him. Oh, God. Oh, no. What if they elope? It does not help that he's so freaking attractive. Ugh.
You were waiting. You were as anxious as I.
Wait until you hear my plan for our marriage. Our elopement.
Maybe he really is in love with her. Maybe all of this is just to kind of like throw off the audience, and he really is in love with her.
Take me tonight. In another hour, everyone will be asleep. We can get away quietly, and no one will know.
Catherine, it's only one more day.
Morris, I beg you.
Does he actually love her, or does he actually just want her money? We have no freaking idea. And that's what's making me like so confused. Like, I don't know what to do.
I am eloping with Morris. Oh, Catherine, how romantic. Morris is so daring.
I don't like that she's just allowing this to happen. Oh my God.
Because I will never be in this house again. Nonsense. You and Austin will be reconciled within the year.
This feels like Romeo and Juliet, to be perfectly honest.
I will never see him again in my life. We dislike each other too much, Aunt.
See, this is why. It's that relationship that they built before this happened.
There he is. Goodbye, Aunt.
Oh my God, did he just not come? He just left her because he's like, okay, well, if you're disinheriting him, then you're not going to have your money. And I want your money!
Why shouldn't I have told Morris? He could not see you impoverished. I have 10,000 a year. That is a great deal of money. Not when one has expected 30.
30? Yeah, because you're your father, that's why.
Well, you are wrong. Morris loves me. He must come. He must take me away. He must love me. He must.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. And yes, his charms would have gotten me. But 30,000 a year, in this time, the money. The money! I think it's safe to say he's a gold digger. I feel like he's still looking out for his daughter though. Like he cares about the fact that someone's trying to like take her money, potentially. Please don't tell me he like dies. Just he's a little stressed out, that's all.
Want to help if I can. You bring him back from California?
He went to California?
I went to Mrs. Montgomery's.
He went to California. I really appreciate the fact that this situation, you can tell that it almost like aged her character. Absolutely brilliant. Stellar performance.
I think you both should know this. I am ill. I shall not recover, but I wish everything to be done as if I should. I don't want your Aunt Lavinia in my room at all, unless I should go into a coma.
I love that he's a doctor and he knows what's going on with him. That's kind of cool.
I can only assume that your departure is imminent.
I am not leaving.
You have broken your engagement. Well, how proud of you I am.
Are you?
Oh, deeply, most deeply proud.
Her whole face changed. Her whole character changed.
It was not love that made you protect me. It was contempt. You thought that any handsome, clever man would be as bored with me as you were.
Morris Townsend did not love you, Catherine.
Since you couldn't love me, you should have let someone else try. You would like to think of me, but I may take your money and chase after Morris.
I don't know what you'll do, Catherine.
That's right, Father. You'll never know.
I can see why she got the Oscar, man. Like, she changed, bro. I was not expecting the change in her character. I'm here for it.
Dr. Isaac says you better come now. Your father is very low, miss.
He's on the brink. I know how this is gonna play out.
I know he does.
I get having a contentious relationship, but don't end things like that, man. Come on. Don't end things like that, because you're just gonna regret it.
Oh,
Come along, Mother. Arthur's waiting.
All right, dear, I'm coming.
Why don't you come up this August? We've asked you every year since your father died.
I like the square.
Ooh, she's grown. You even can tell in her outfits.
Oh, Miss Catherine.
Stunning.
You changed into one of your Paris gowns. Would you mind if Cook and I took a stroll in the square?
When you want a small favor, you need not blandish me with false compliments. It was the coolest dress I could find.
Look at her. She's like, don't play me. Like, if you want something, just ask me straight up or just do it. Like, don't play me. Telling you that one little thing, and it changed her entire like mindset.
I have seen Morris Townsend.
Oh my God, her eyes.
I've never ceased to think of you.
Morris, if you cannot be honest with me, we shall have nothing more to say to each other.
It's been the desire of my life that you should understand my motive.
I would want to know why he left, because I would want to see the BS excuse that he comes up with.
Catherine, it was because I loved you that I disappeared that night. I knew that if I returned that night, I might have done you great harm. Try to understand me, Catherine. I chose your welfare rather than my own.
That is, see how you can twist it? I don't trust him at all.
Let us make the rest of life happy for each other. I'm marrying, Catherine, and I will try and be a good husband to you. I'm older, I'm wiser now. My things are at my sister's.
Why don't you get them now, Morris, and come back for me?
We can be at Murray's Hill in an hour. We can be there by 10.
Let's see what she does. Because if I think I know what she's about to do, then this is about to be a very interesting ending.
Oh, Catherine, we have him back. I knew it would turn out this way.
She's like, shut up, Lavinia! Shut up!
Came back with the same lie. The first time he only wanted my money. Now he wants my love, too.
Lavinia, honestly, is kind of me in the sense of like being a hopeless romantic, but I thought she was gonna stay naive, bro.
Bolt the door, Mariah.
Yes, miss.
Good night, Mariah.
Good night, Mariah. Oh my God, she just became my favorite freaking character. Oh my God. Don't have second thoughts, Catherine. Stay strong. Go, Catherine! Catherine! Good job! I'm so happy for you! Oh, at the end part of them just knocked on the door. Oh my God, I'm like, that movie, y'all. Can we first of all just talk about how much of a boss Catherine is? Look, I honestly thought when she first showed up, all lovey-dovey with Townsend, I really honestly thought she was just gonna give up everything for this man. And I was like, girl, that's a freaking mistake. But then in the second half, when she's like, skirt, actually, and her whole entire character changed, and you saw that she matured and she grew up, and you saw that she learned from her first mistake. You can't tell me nothing. Do you understand? Wow, what a character turnaround. And Olivia de Havilland played that like a freaking queen. Her performance going from this sort of young, naive Catherine, she's naive, she's young, she's coy, like, and she played that so well. And then to see her age and grow and mature and become the woman that Catherine became, that was spectacular. I can see why she got the Oscar for that. Then, like, and then the ending, like, imagine being in the theater, because you always, like, you see some of these older films where, like take My Fair Lady, for instance, when, like, we wanted, I forgot her name, we wanted Audrey Hepburn's character to stand her ground and to leave Higgins and to not come back, but she did. And that, you almost felt like it was a slap in the face at the end, because it's like he treated you so bad and you still went back to him. But this one, she's like, no, you're not treating me bad again, baby boy. Like, that's not happening. And we got the vindication that we wanted at the end there, and I'm here for it. And then the direction of William Wyler it was such a good idea to have him direct, because I think he did such a phenomenal job in cultivating the performances of these actors and letting them have their moment. Even though there was obviously some like tension behind the scenes, it was effortless on screen, okay? Gotta give Ralph Richardson too, the sort of like, he saw through Townsend. He saw through him. He was like, I smell your BS and I'm not here for it. But it was the subtlety of how he played it off. It wasn't grand. It wasn't like, aha, like I see you, and anger. It was very subtle in the way he started to suspect. And I think that was so necessary and so correct for the Doctor's character. Fantastic acting. And then Monty Clift, the fact that he wasn't sort of in this sort of period piece mold, and that he kind of did feel a little out of place, but he's still so handsome and so charming. It worked perfectly. And I loved the fact that it was written like he's not being this nefarious, like, you know, evil villain with he did have a mustache, but like the evil villain with a mustache, and like he's telling the audience like, I tricked her, haha. It's all done very subtly. And so even the audience is like, what's going on? Is he really being truthful or is he really lying? But then when he deserts her, like clearly he's jackass, excuse my language. But you can tell at that point, like, he's lying to her. But yes, the ending of that was so freaking satisfying. I'm so happy we watched it. And then finally, I want to talk about the cinematography. That was absolutely stellar. I mean, the way that Leo Tover and William Wyler decided to shoot this film gave it a lot of depth. Even just in the frames, like you felt like there was depth in the frame. You were looking in different areas, you were watching different characters. It gave the audience a chance to also kind of feel a little bit more motion in the camera and also feel like a part of the story. It just gave the feel of the film more character. And I really loved that. And I think they work really well together. But overall, stellar film. Thank me for choosing it, and thank you so much for watching it with me. All right, everyone, that does it for this video. As always, if you liked it as much as I did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you would like to become an official MWMer, then please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification to stay in the loop. If you would like to see this film's full reaction, you will find it on my Patreon. Patreon is also where I hold my MWM live watch parties, where we come together and we watch one classic film live via Zoom. So if that's something that you're interested in, then please check out that Patreon link, which is in the description box below. In the next video, we are continuing this series of films that I've really been wanting to watch for a while now, and the next film we are going to be watching is The Women. I'm very excited to watch The Women. I've heard raving reviews in the comments. If you have not seen The Women, I highly suggest you watching it in its entirety before checking out the reaction. I have provided links of where I bought my physical copy, as well as where you can stream it online down in the description box. If you have a recommendation for any classic Hollywood films, the best way to get a hold of me is through social media on Facebook and Twitter at Movies with Mia, or I guess it's X now, and on Instagram at movieswithmia_. And while you're on social media, why not consider checking out my LetterBoxd account? There I have a documentation of all of the movies we've seen on the channel, and it is under the handle at Mamma Mia Tiffany. I do have that also in the description box if you want to check that out. And yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching to the end. That's freaking awesome. I really do hope you guys have a lovely day and a lovely summer. Please stay hydrated, wear your sunscreen. The sun is a little scary. Please stay safe and healthy out there, guys, and I will see you, boo, in the next video. Bye, everyone. The hair is working today. It's long, isn't it? It's getting longer. She's not even today, but we're still gonna work with her, okay? We're gonna work with how she looks. Now, the novel would eventually become an American classic and would also eventually be adapted into a Broadway play by the famed Habara. Let me try it again. By the famed husband and wife, Ruth and Augustus Goetz, or Getz, or Guts. I think it's Guts. I'm gonna say Goetz. If it's wrong, let me know. Wyler at this time had been working with Paramount and had become... There's a car backing up. Wyler would eventually cast Montgomery Clift for the movie. Try it again. I don't know why I brain farted for a second. Again, to essentially reprise or reboot, revamp. Remake. That's the word I'm looking for. Remake. I knew it was a reword. That was a good start. Wasn't a good end.